Alright, let me tell you about something that happened to me when I was 17. It's something I've tried to forget for over a decade, something that still keeps me up at night. This is the story of what happened at St. Augustine's Church in Coldwater, Michigan. Look, I don't talk about this. My friends who were there, we made a pact never to speak about it again. But it's been eating at me for years, and maybe, just maybe, telling you will help me finally process what we saw that night. So here it is. Every word is true. I swear on everything I love. We should leave, I said. My voice was shaking, but Tyler was already moving toward a door beside the altar. Are you kidding? We came here for a story. This is the story. I wanted to run. Every instinct was screaming at me to get out. But, you know, peer pressure is a hell of a drug, especially at 17. So, we followed Tyler through the door and down a narrow stone staircase. The chanting got louder. The temperature dropped even further. Our breath came out in visible clouds. The staircase seemed to go on forever, spiraling down into darkness that our flashlights barely penetrated. When we finally reached the bottom, we found ourselves in a stone basement. Cold, damp, ancient looking. But there were more candles. Hundreds of them. They lined the walls, creating a circle of light in the center of the room. And in that circle, God, I can still see it when I close my eyes. There was a woman. She was lying on a stone slab dressed in white, her arms at her sides. At first I thought she was dead, but then I saw her chest rising and falling. Shallow breaths. She was alive. Barely. And standing over her, his back to us, dressed in black priest's robes, was Father Gabriel. He was bent over her. His head was near her neck. And we could hear it, this wet, sickening sound, like someone drinking, slurping. Jess made this small, choked sound, like she wanted to scream but couldn't. Father Gabriel stopped. He went completely still. Then, slowly, so fucking slowly it felt like time had stopped, he turned his head toward us. I'll never forget his face. It was pale, inhumanly pale. His eyes, they weren't normal. They glowed. Actually glowed. This deep, dark red like dying embers. And his mouth was covered in blood. Fresh blood. Dripping from his lips, down his chin, staining his white collar. And when he smiled, when he fucking smiled at us, I saw them. Fangs. Long, sharp, white fangs where his canine teeth should have been. I dropped my flashlight. The sound echoed through the basement like a gunshot. Tyler stumbled backward. Marcus let out this strangled gasp. Jess started crying. Father Gabriel stood up slowly, blood dripping from his mouth onto the stone floor. He was tall, taller than I remembered from seeing him around town. He seemed to unfold as he rose, like a shadow taking shape. Children, you shouldn't have come to midnight mass. The door at the top of the stairs slammed shut. The sound was like a coffin closing. All of our phones died at the same time, screens going black, no warning, just dead. Tyler's flashlight flickered and went out. The only light was the candles, and Father Gabriel, standing there in their glow, blood on his face, smiling at us like we were expected guests. Run! We bolted, back up the stone stairs, tripping over each other, crashing into walls in the darkness. I've never been that terrified in my life, pure animal panic. Behind us, I swear I could hear footsteps. Not running, walking. Calm, measured footsteps following us up the stairs. When we reached the main level, the church doors were closed. We slammed into them, pulling, pushing, nothing worked. They wouldn't budge. The windows. We ran to the stained glass windows looking for something to break them with. But when we got close, we saw movement outside. Shadows, dozens of them, circling the church, waiting. And then we heard Father Gabriel's voice again, echoing through the church from everywhere and nowhere. You came seeking truth, now you've found it. But truth demands payment. Jess was sobbing. Marcus was praying, actually praying, which I'd never heard him do. Tyler kept slamming his shoulder into the doors, screaming for help. I don't know what made me do it, but I grabbed a heavy candlestick from the altar and threw it at the door with everything I had. The impact made this weird sound, like breaking glass, but deeper. And suddenly, the door swung open. We didn't question it. We ran. Out into the cold October night, across the gravel parking lot, to Tyler's car. He fumbled with the keys, hands shaking so badly he could barely get them in the ignition. As we peeled out of there, tires screaming on the gravel, I looked back at the church. Father Gabriel was standing in the doorway, illuminated by the candlelight behind him, just standing there, watching us leave. He didn't chase us. He didn't need to. He knew we'd never forget. He knew we'd carry that night with us forever. We drove straight to Marcus's house and spent the night there, all of us in the same room, lights on, barely speaking. When dawn came, we went back. Stupid, I know, but we needed to see. The church looked normal, quiet, peaceful in the morning light. We called the police, told them there was something wrong at St. Augustine's, that someone might be hurt. They went to investigate. They found nothing. No woman, no blood, no signs of any activity. Just an old, dusty, abandoned church that hadn't been used in years. The police thought we were on drugs or pulling a prank. But here's what I know. 2 weeks later, St. Augustine's was boarded up by the diocese. No explanation given, just shut down, locked and abandoned. Father Gabriel disappeared. No forwarding address, no trace. And the woman we saw? I found out later that a local woman named Sarah Mitchell had been reported missing the same night. She turned up 3 days later in the hospital with no memory of where she'd been and severe anemia. The doctors couldn't explain the blood loss. I still live near Coldwater, and sometimes late at night when I'm driving home, I pass by St. Augustine's. It's still there, boarded up, covered in no trespassing signs. But I swear to you, and I know how this sounds, but I swear at night you can see candlelight flickering through cracks in the boarded windows. And sometimes, if you look close enough, you can see a tall shadow standing inside, just standing there, waiting. I never went back. None of us did. We don't talk about it, even to each other. Tyler moved to California. Marcus joined the military, and I haven't heard from him in years. Jess transferred colleges and changed her number. But me, I'm stuck here. And every October, when the nights get longer and the air gets colder, I remember Father Gabriel's smile, his glowing red eyes, his voice echoing through that church. I don't know what payment he was talking about, but I'm terrified that one day he's going to come to collect. So, yeah, that's my story. Believe it or not, I honestly don't care anymore. I just needed to tell someone. I've carried this for too long. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. If this story affected you, please hit that subscribe button. Share this with someone who loves horror stories. And for God's sake, if you're ever near Coldwater, Michigan, stay away from St. Augustine's Church. Until next time, stay safe, stay skeptical, and remember, some legends exist because they're true.